the triple onto the table. There's some time lost right there.
And remember what I was telling you about how this track can kind of bait you into going into the turn too fast? There's so much traction in the turns. He came in really quick, had a really steep lean angle, and almost leaned the bike over a little too much.
Let's see what this time is. He's still going for it right now. He did lose some time in that rhythm lane, but let's see what it is. As Hunter Yoder goes to the top, 101.8. What's Deegan do? 101.2, even without getting that fast line through the rhythm lane.
Yeah, I think he probably left a half second or so on the table, and he knows that right now, even though he went to P1. Anytime you make a mistake like that, you know there's still some time out there, so he's going to want to put another one down completely clean.
Ryder D getting that triple double line across the start. That's the fast way through there. Some guys going inside roll double as well, but as he kind of makes a mistake and aborts that lap.
And it really didn't look like a massive mistake, and that just tells you how fast these guys are going. You kind of have a general sense of if you messed a lap up kind of beyond repair or not. Small mistake, and Ryder D packed it in.
Levi Kitchen on another fast lap. As there's a guy in his way, he's still able to get the triple, not able to get the triple into the turn.
And that's just unfortunate. He had a great lap going. To see Max Anstey in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, looks like he made a mistake and went down, but Levi just got a little unlucky with a rider in his way, but he's going to start another fast one here. Let's stick with him.
Here he goes again. Outside, it looks to go outside, triples, doubles. I like that line right there.
I do too. Just allows you to keep your momentum. You can tell his back end slid just a little bit off the face of that triple, but still able to downside it. Good lap so far.
Basically every time our camera crew has been on the 47, he's been on a fast lap. That tells me one thing. He is feeling comfortable. He's out there to prove a point, to prove that he is the fastest guy here once again, like he was at Anaheim 1. All he needs is a good start.
Well, him and Hayden Deegan have kind of had this battle going throughout qualifying. We haven't seen it in the main from Levi yet, but Levi qualifying fastest at A1, Hayden qualified faster than San Diego. Who's going to throw the next stone?
Gets really good whoop pass right there. Able to sit into that triple into the corner.
That's the only way you're able to get that second three on the 250 right now, is if you really sit into it and seat bounce it. This is a good one.
This one's going to the top. This one's going to the top. It does. 101.250. Levi Kitchen to the top of the board. Barely,
but Hayden's on a quick one here too. Great pass through the whoops. Oh, and I take that back. I just said is the only way you're going to be able to get that second three is the seat bounce. Hayden Deegan proving me wrong right away. What a pass.
Let's see what this lap time is. Does he go to the top of the board? Hayden Deegan, 101.1, 1/10 better than Levi Kitchen. This is so fun to watch, folks. This is just awesome. The level here at Anaheim 2 is so high.
It's incredible, and I do think for Levi, we saw him the 3-3 over the start straight right after the sand section. We saw him come up just a little bit short on that fast lap, so I think if I'm Levi, I know I left a little speed out there.
Chance Hymas on your screen right now. Fourth overall. His best in qualifying was Anaheim 1. He was third. Can he throw down a lap? Chance has always had some speed. Levi Kitchen on your screen. Now he knows he's back to second. Is he going to take a deep breath?
Well,
get ready to roll for this next lap.
You can tell he just made a little mistake, and he just tried. That's kind of a racing line right now. He knows he's not on a fast lap. He just tried jumping through the whoops in case he has to go to that line in the main event. But let's see. Levi's got, we still have some time, 5 minutes left. He's going to have a couple more chances, but here we go.
Here we go. He was going outside around that wall jump. It looks like that's typically the line now that these guys are going to. He's going to go inside here in the sand, jumps over that first little bump. I love that.
I love that line, and you could see the suspension kind of compressed up that big roller in the sand. He floated over the top. Let's see if he's able to make these things cleanly. Gets through that section perfectly. So far, this is really good, JB, but he's got to nail this section up here. He's got to get this three onto the tabletop.
He loves this all the way around that turn. Now he's flirting with the left side. It's risky over there, but what that does, it sets you up really nice for this turn, opens up that right-hand turn.
And you saw him shift twice towards the end of that rhythm section. He's probably hitting this section in fourth gear, shifts down to third in the air off the first three. Clean pass through the whoops. This might be the one.
Is this it? Does he beat 101.1 that Hayden Deegan threw down a lap ago? He does. 1 minute flat, 0.8. Back and forth, back and forth. You got to love it.
You do. You see Hayden kind of doing the same thing Levi did a couple laps ago, just trying, experimenting with that jump line in the whoops. But I imagine Hayden's going to want another crack at P1 right here.
Here he goes, setting it up. He was kind of messing with jumping through the whoops as he doesn't go for another fast lap. 101.1 is Hayden's best so far. Ryder D jumps up to third, 101.1 as well, as Max Anstey jumps to fourth, 101.4.
I got to give a shout out to Hunter Yoder, too. He had a great heat race last week, a good main event. He was P1 for about 15 seconds before Deegan displaced him at the top, but right now solid from the Club MX Yamaha rider.
It's a great performance. Chad Reed over there helping those folks out. What better coach than two-time Supercross champion Chad Reed to work with you during the week? It's number 61, Max Anstey on screen. Better qualifying this weekend, been outside the top 5 the past couple weeks, but fourth so far here today, looking pretty good.
I'd be pretty motivated, I think, right now if I'm Max Anstey. And Hayden, of course, getting into it a little bit with Hayden last week. I had some words during the week, was listening to Will Hahn yesterday in the press conference kind of talk about it. But one of the things I love about Max and kind of his progression over the years, he's a very mature, thoughtful rider. I don't think he's going to get too wrapped up in this drama. And he's very realistic too. Even last week, he knew that Hayden was going to win that race. He knew he didn't have that pace. And sometimes having those more realistic expectations can help you be consistent throughout the course of the season.
Once again, we're back on the 47 of Levi Kitchen, and once again, he's on a fast lap, folks. He is constantly going lap after lap. The fitness level is not an issue for the 47. Aggressive once again.
So clean, and you see that time, the lap before, his fast lap before, he went all the way around the top of that turn, cuts down, shaves off some track. Could this lap be even better?
1 minute, 0.8 is his best so far as he sits into that triple into the corner.
You see, he just came up just a tad short on the first triple. Comes up a little short on that double as well. Let's see what it is. He does a
101.0. So still faster than everyone else on track. So you know that's a good feeling, because a lot of times we'll look at the backup time, because sometimes your fastest is a non-realistic time. You go to your backup time, Levi Kitchen, the backup time faster than anyone on track.
Oh, Hayden Deegan, he wants this one here. I wasn't sure if he was just going to let it be. P2's enough, but I love that line all the way inside, still able to get that triple on. And everything we've seen so far on this lap tells me Hayden Deegan might be going to the top right here.
Looks good. This is the sections that's going to tell the story. Triple again, standing.
I love how he does that standing. Anytime you can do a jump standing instead of seat bouncing, always a little better. Jumps out way far on the double.
See if he goes to the top. He does.
Wow.
Hayden Deegan, 1 minute, 0.5 to Levi Kitchen's 1 minute, 0.8. And Anstey up there in third, a 1 minute, 0.8. So those three guys, wow.
And let's see, 30 seconds left in this session. Does Levi want to try just one more time to get this lap? I mean, this is a good old-fashioned slugfest out there.
This is
right now
unbelievable. And you think about the three fastest guys so far to start this season. Deegan, Kitchen, Anstey, here they are, three fastest here at round 3.
And just the intensity level, lap after lap for these guys, for Hayden, for Levi, for Max. It's unbelievable. When a track has this much traction, it allows you to carry so much speed around. It's pretty much endless how fast you can go, but you see he's got to go inside here. He was going outside 3-3, little different line.
I think, like you said, this next right-hander, Levi's been going all the way around. I love what Hayden did as he pulls up, makes a little bit of a mistake, but Hayden was that far low rut, cuts off a little track, gets to that first jump sooner, and still able to go triple onto the turn, onto the tabletop.
I love the way Hayden Deegan responded to that challenge. Anytime you get going back and forth like that as a racer, it gets a little personal out there. The guy you're going back and forth with, and for Hayden, there was a point where he got knocked off and made a couple mistakes, but reined it back in, found some good lines, went out there through the fastest time of the day so far. What more can you say about Hayden Deegan?
Feeling good, does a nice little whip. Anytime Hayden Deegan has been fast, qualifiers average through the night show, through the main event is 2.2. So looking pretty good here today for the 1W. 1 minute 0.5 to Levi Kitchens, 1 minute 0.8. And Max Anstie throws down a good one as well and pretty much matches Levi Kitchen with a 1 minute 0.8. We're going to chat with Hayden Deegan when we come back.
Welcome back. This is Race Day Live presented by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and it's Hayden Deegan who tops the charts overall. Hayden, you had described your last qualifying effort earlier today as mediocre. You did it by over a second. Was this more of the lap or feeling that you were aiming for?
Oh, the track's just gotten a lot easier. Like, there's not as many ruts right now, so we're going to get a lot, the time's going to get a lot tighter. And man, I'm just stoked on that whole shot right there. I didn't think that was possible, but hopefully the hard work pays off that we did this week, and we can show it in the main because it's a little useless right now. But yeah, P1, and we're ready to come out swinging.
The stage has been set for Hayden Deegan, fast qualifier 250.
Thank you, Haley. Hayden Deegan starting off his day just like he wanted to. Fastest qualifier in both sessions here today. And how about this man, Eli Tomac, lined up right next to the box. AC, he loves that spot.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? A lot of guys love being next to the box because it gives you a little bit of space once you get out. I was always next to the box guy. Inside, outside, it didn't matter.
It's funny, I was just looking at that. To Eli's left is Hunter Loris. I was thinking, well, Hunter's a great starter. And then I looked at Ken. Ken's a great starter. Then Justin Cooper on that. He's a great starter. Like, they're all just good.
Yeah, you typically don't want to start next to somebody you know is a good starter, but it's hard because there's so many.
Chase Sexton on the outside of the box. This is 450 Group A qualifier number 2, fueled by Ralph's. The two HEP Suzukis up front, Roxon and Anderson. Got Webb on the inside of Kenny.
That's got to be a good feeling for Coop, too, getting out of the gate. He's had his struggles in the beginning part of the races, setting him back a little bit. This is the first week we really haven't spoken about Cooper Webb a lot, and you know what happens when we stop talking about Cooper Webb. He normally wins the race, so I would not count the one out yet.
Coop already messing with that triple line, gets you right into that pocket, then you're able to do that triple into the corner. So let's see if he can start taking that inside. It's a little bit slippery, though, on that inside before the whoop, so see if that can come in as Coop, maybe even Justin Cooper, his teammates, start to take that line.
And I think for these guys right now, and I love how Coop didn't downside that last double, how he jumped all the way out onto the start straight. For these guys, because the track is a little softer, there's a lot of traction, the ruts are going to be there. I think the emphasis for these guys is to get a good lap in early. If you can get out there and throw a time down that you'd be happy going back to the truck with sometime in the first 3 or 4 laps. Really frees you up for the rest of the session.
Coop takes that low line, still able to get triple on, off. Triple again. You see all the guys are going down the left side. Coop's going to fade back to the right. Cut off that much track right there. Roll triple, triple,
I like it.
Triple.
I like that line. We just were speaking about that before this session. I think the jump line always gets faster the more beat down the whoops get as well. So I think that line is going to continue to get better as the night goes on.
101.1 for Cooper Webb. Goes to the top of the board, fastest on track so far. And the one thing I love about that line is it's so repeatable, lap after lap after lap in the main event. We've talked about Coop's whoop skills. His skimming skills have gotten better over the years. Still not the best out there. 94 right there, arguably one of the best. You would think that he's going to continue to go to the outside, skim down the left side of the whoops, potentially even the right. He talked about that yesterday, trying to think about late in the main event.
How about how fast Kenny just went through the inside of that sand? That was unbelievable. Just the lean angle. He was on the gas early. Comes up just a tad short on that triple into the corner, but great lap for the 94.
Let's see what he does right here. Still holds the left side of that rhythm lane, opens it up.
See him shift twice in the air off that last triple. Is probably 4th gear through that rhythm, down to 3rd, back down to 2nd into this right-hander.
Looks like a good lap from the 94. Let's see if he goes to the top, if he can better Webb's 101.1.
He does. 1 minute flat 0.8. And Jason Anderson, you couldn't see him in the shot, but he was right behind his teammate there. Follows it up with a 1 minute flat 0.9.
21. Catching a toe from the 94. About the 26. Started the season at Anaheim 1. Absolutely incredible. Qualified 2nd 1 week ago in San Diego. Didn't get a great start in that main event, but still, Jorge Prado, he's looking good in 2026.
And listening to him in the interviews after the race, I mean, he was pretty honest about he's not super comfortable in the pack with the guys. This is a guy who has been such a great starter his whole career, and most of the time he gets a good start, he finishes up there in the top 3, and it's not so chaotic. So Jorge knows he's got to get a little better when he doesn't get a great start at moving through the field, making good decisions mid-race.
Cooper Webb, the number 1 on screen, over jumps that jump. That pocket is really tight right there.
And that's the hard thing about riding a 450 on Supercross is there's so much power that you can pretty much overshoot anything. A quad, a triple, where a 250 most of the time things are closer to just wide open and you make it perfect. 450 you have to be really precise with your timing.
You know what's going to be fun is watching these guys on Peacock later on tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern time. What I've noticed, how this track is going to race, very difficult racetrack. Trying to get this lap after lap after lap for 20 minutes plus a lap, trying to get the rhythm lane right out of the right-hand turn, the triple onto the table, trying to get the one right that Cooper Webb just made a mistake on. This track's going to be a tough racetrack, AC.
It is. You see Eli just faded a little wide. There, gets close to the tough blocks up the finish line. But I've noticed Eli kind of eases into his fast laps. He does a couple laps at a good intensity, but not quite 100%. And it looks like this is the lap he was trying to set up right here.
Goes to the outside right here. See if he times his triple out of the turn. He does, gets it perfect. Stays low in this left hand, and he's going to get to the left of the racetrack to set up this next right-hander, AC.
And he's been so precise with his timing. And to me, the bike, and we touched on it at the top of the show, as he makes a little mistake, really easy to do. Just get a little cross-rutted. I love that he's not quitting on the lap, though. He's going to do his best to finish it out. It just looks like he knows exactly what the bike is going to do as he makes a couple little mistakes. You saw him case that triple into the corner. He's got Cooper Webb right there behind him. But so far, this lap, maybe not the greatest example. We saw some mistakes, but he just looks so confident with the bike, especially in the middle of the corners.
Once again, even for a guy like Eli Tomac, this track is so susceptible to making mistakes. So, like I said, 20 minutes plus a lap later on tonight, it's going to be a very, very difficult racetrack. You see Ferrandis on number 14, Troy Lee Designs Red Bull Ducati machine. Impressive start to the season for this Ducati bike. their debut here in 2026 Supercross here in America. Let's go down to Lurch, who's with the legend himself, Troy Lee.
Alongside Troy Lee with Troy Lee Designs, Red Bull, Ducati, and a beautiful helmet there. Another movie activation and doing the paint job for it.
Yeah, just super stoked to be working with Paramount and just launching some of their movies this year. So this is the first one this year, and can't wait to go see it.
You know, looking at the team start this season, Dylan Ferrandis sitting sixth position after the first qualifier. You got to be pretty happy with the progress of the team, only the third event in.
Yeah, this is a dream come true to have two 450 riders. I know Barsha got hurt in the first round, but he's, you know, working to come back here. I mean, to be working with Ducati and Red Bull and Paramount and just all my partners, Chip Ganassi and PPG and everybody that helped pull this thing together. It's been amazing, and I feel thrilled, feel like a little kid.
Troy Lee, a massive artist and innovator when it comes to motorsports.
Thank you, Lurch. Troy Lee, an absolute legend. Troy Lee paint job back in the day on one of my helmets is so cool. I thought I was just, thought I was the man.
I love that. And a lot happened when we were way there. Lurch talking to Mr. Troy Lee. Chase Sexton, the first guy to break a minute 59.9, and Justin Cooper and RJ Hampshire up there in the 2 and 3.
Here's Coop revving his bike at the 27 of Malcolm Stewart. Malcolm thought the race line or the line here in qualifying was going outside. Malcolm was on the inside, so Coop lost a little bit of time, but not much. Looks like he's on a good one right here as he's finishing this lap. 101.1 is Coop's best so far. Let's see if he can beat that. Doesn't. 102.0, so still 8th for Cooper Webb.
And this is the point of the practice where the track is now starting to go away. I believe you can still, as you see Eli Tomac on a fast lap here, you can still get a good time, but it's going to get increasingly more difficult as the main fast line continues to get beat up.
How about this leaderboard right now? Chase Sexton on top, but Justin Cooper, RJ Hampshire, number 24, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna machine. He's 3rd. Tomac goes to 4th. Jorge Prado 5th. So many fast guys out here in this A qualifier.
And Sexton on another one here. And we've said this time and time again, but Chase Sexton in qualifying, when he is on one, and there is not a lot of people that can go that fast. Oh, he comes in the
right there
woods
from
and
Chase
he's down.
as he goes down.
You saw that one coming a mile away, and we've all done that before. You see him showing some frustration. The problem is he came into the whoops, picked up the front wheel when he was still turning a little bit. So we're going to check a replay out right here. You see him come out of the turn, and you see he was just kind of fading outside a little bit, and so he had to kind of turn as he was entering the whoops, and it just really, you see him try to get back into that main line. The back end steps out, and at this point, he knew about 2 whoops in that he was going down. It was only a matter of time, and luckily he gets away without any massive damage.
Yeah, it looks like he's up and all good, but you're so right. One thing in the whoop section, you always want to come in as straight as possible when the whoops are that close to the first turn or to that turn. It's really hard to straighten it up, especially with as much speed as he created through that corner in particular. Still fastest on track, 59.9, all good. Pulls in the mechanics area, probably gets a few things straightened out, but Chase Sexton fast here today in Anaheim.
Yeah, there's Kaipo, his mechanic Rango there. These guys, for sure, he comes back. Kaipo says, "Are you okay, man?" Chase is like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm just an idiot," or he'd say something like that. But Chase Sexton's still in a great spot. Top of the board, 59.9.
How about this guy, 32, Justin Cooper, still going outside, jumping through the whoops as he kind of goes to a jump skim, makes a mistake. Once again, this track, it's really hard to go lap after lap, and that's why I give Levi Kitchen and 250s so much credit. It seemed like every time we went to him, he's on a fast lap and not many mistakes. We're now getting ruddier through this 450 Group A qualifier number 2. A lot of mistakes out there.
And this is a track that, because of the traction, I know I've been talking about this all day, but because of the traction, it allows you to go so fast that sometimes when the track is like this, it can almost scare you a little bit. If you're a top guy, you do a fast lap and you're like, man, I really don't want to do that again. Like, they're taking a lot of risk to go as fast as they are right now.
94 Ken Roxon experimenting jumping through the whoops as he goes to kind of a jump skim.
And we know he's a guy that wants to skim at all costs. We rarely ever see the 94 jumping through the whoops.
Really curious on Cooper Webb there in 10th. 101.1. We've had him on screen multiple times. Looks to be really fast around the rest of the track, electing to jump through the whoops. Cutting some track off in the corner before that whoop section. You would think it would be really fast. Joey Savacci 9th after that top 5 1 week ago with a 101.1. These times are just so close, so close.
Cooper Webb here, he's putting in a really big effort for him in qualifying. I've seen 3 or 4 fast laps from Coop. He wants to get up in it. He's down in 10th, wants to get a little closer to the front.
Let's see what Hunter Lawrence can do right here. He's 9th so far, 1 minute flat, 0.9. This goes triple, triple, double into the turn. Let's see how he goes through the whoops. Gets nice and straight before them. Watch his body language. He's so calm on the motorcycle, in the turns, in the whoops, in the rhythm lanes. You watch his upper body, it doesn't move that much.
It really doesn't. And it's one of those scenarios where his personality matches his riding style so perfectly. Very neutral on the bike, very level-headed guy. And we saw it last week in San Diego. He gets better the more the track breaks down. So I actually think that this condition here today will suit him better than even it did last week.
Well, while we were on Hunter Lawrence, he's in 10th, but the rider right behind him, just outside of your screen, you could barely see him, was the number 17 of Joey Savacci. He jumps up to 5th with a 1 minute 0.6.
He's got some confidence.
He's got some confidence, that's for sure. RJ Hampshire, this is a great qualifying effort from him. 1 minute 0.4, third right now. And RJ needs a little rebound, dealing with some injuries in the offseason. He mentioned it's going to be a little bit of a slow start, but I think it's a big night for RJ getting inside that top 10, potentially even top 5.
The thing I love about RJ is you know that you're going to get his absolute best every time he's on the track, regardless of what is going on. So RJ is an easy guy to root for.
RJ was 11th at Anaheim 1 in qualifying, 7th in San Diego a week ago. But Chase Sexton, fastest here today at Anaheim 2, 59.9, the only one all day long underneath a minute lap time. Justin Cooper in second. Shout out RJ Hampshire. That's a solid qualifying effort from him. Ken Roxon, and there it is, Joey Savacci in that quad lock Honda, fresh off a top 5 a week ago in San Diego. Backs it up with a top 5 here. Qualifying effort in Anaheim. Momentum is a crazy thing, AC.
It sure is, Justin. How about this? Chase Sexton, his 32nd time qualifying fastest in the Premier class. He only needs one more to tie himself with the one, the only Chad Reed.
Jorge Prado 6th. Eli Tomac 7th. Let's go down to Haley Shanley, who's with Justin Cooper.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we'll give him just a second to get his helmet off, but that was impressive. We talked about it earlier in the show. The speed we've continued to see from you so far, Justin, this season has been great. What's it going to take to translate it tonight?
Yeah, it just starts. I feel incredible on the bike. I have a really good offseason and a good base going into this, so really just trying to find my stride. I feel like I've been pretty quietly working my way through the pack in the main events, so it's disappointing, but a couple good starts and we'll be up front.
I know he's been putting in the work, but so much importance is on those starts. That Justin Cooper, our second fastest overall for the 450s. Of course, Chase Sexton, our top qualifier. I'm not seeing him down here, but if I do, I'll try and catch a word.
Thank you, Haley. Chase Sexton fastest. Probably went back to the pits after having a little